Live from WTVO 17 and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Investigators nab a man they've been looking for over a year. The suspect from Chicago will serve over a decade for a crime committed in the state line. Plus, an inside look at the dangers first responders face while working on Illinois roadsides. The ride-along proves why drivers need to move over. And another coronavirus vaccine could soon enter the market. The FDA looks into the efficacy of Johnson & Johnson's shot. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy. Eric is off tonight. Rockford police arrest a man accused of a 2019 shooting near a daycare. DeAndre Fryer was arrested in an unrelated drug bust yesterday. 19-year-old Stefan Harris was also taken into custody. Narcotics investigators and Rockford DEA agents arrested the suspects during a traffic stop. July 17, 2019, police say Fryer shot a woman near 24th Street and Broadway outside Tender Beginnings Learning Center. The woman survived after being treated for serious injuries. In addition to attempted murder, Fryer faces multiple weapons and drug charges. A man clings to life as police continue to investigate a shooting on Rockford's northeast side. We first told you about this last night at 10. Investigators say it happened around 8:45 at a home on Shillington Drive near Bell School Road. Officers found the patio door and window had been shot out. No one was home at the time, but officers later were notified of a walk-in shooting victim at a nearby hospital. The 24-year-old man remains in critical condition. No word yet on any arrests. Anyone with information should call police or Crime Stoppers. The Chicago man accused of gunning down two people outside a Rockford Taco Bell is sentenced. Mycarlo Gunn will spend 15 years in prison. He pleaded guilty to one count of attempted murder. November 13, 2018, police were called to the restaurant on Auburn Street. That's where they found 25-year-old Zachary Reyes and a woman with gunshot wounds. Reyes died at the hospital. The woman survived. 3 other suspects related to this shooting have not been sentenced yet. First responders across Illinois are stressing the importance of Scott's Law. It requires drivers to slow down and move over if possible when passing police, fire, and ambulance vehicles pulled over on the road. Michelle Rave got a front row seat for the enforcement of the law and takes us along for the ride.
Sterling 16-6, disposition, Scott's Law violation, number 2, number 4.
Illinois State Police agencies team up to enforce the state's move over law. Scott's Law was passed in 2002 in honor of Chicago Fire Department Lieutenant Scott Gillen. Wednesday, I had the chance to ride along with ISP Master Sergeant Heather Hansen. She tells me she has a personal connection to the law.
I was on that crash when he was struck and killed by an intoxicated driver who just basically drove right through our scene and didn't move over and didn't give us enough room to work.
Now, Scott's Law doesn't just apply to Illinois State Police and other officers. It also applies to emergency personnel and anyone who has to pull over to the side of the road in case of an emergency.
This is our office. This is where we work, and this is where all of our equipment is, and we don't want you to drive through our office, and if you do have to come through our office or near our office, we want you to reduce your speed as much as possible.
During my ride along, I saw several drivers get pulled over for violating Scott's Law.
Hi, good afternoon. How are you? Our violations went down a lot in 2020. But in 2021, with 11 squad car crashes already and 200 citations, I mean, we're on course to have a bad year.
Hansen says by following the law, you can avoid getting a costly ticket, but most importantly, you can save a life.
We want anybody who happens to have a hazard or an emergency on the side of the road, everybody deserves to travel through our state safely and get home to their families.
Reporting for your home team, I'm Michelle Rave.
Findings of an Illinois law enforcement survey on the recently passed police reform bill show negative public reaction. The Illinois Fraternal Order of Police and Ogden and Fry conducted the study. They found a majority of registered voters in the state opposed the bill. 700 participants were surveyed. 66% did not support the filing of anonymous complaints against police officers. Nearly 54% did not support changes to cash bail. And almost 53% are against charging police officers who don't turn on body cameras while on duty. More options are available for small business owners hit hard by the pandemic. Entrepreneurs can now apply for another round of federal aid. Ari Bruckman's been looking into this. He joins us now. And Ari, what's new with these funds?
Yeah, Mimi, this round of help is different than the others. This is specifically for small businesses with fewer than 20 employees. On Monday, President Joe Biden announced changes to the Paycheck Protection Program. This new round of PPP loans is targeting very small businesses. Many mom and pop places and people who are self-employed didn't end up getting any help last year. Bath and Body Fusion in downtown Rockford did apply for an earlier loan. Store manager Shelby Starr tells me they got money, which really helped them out during the pandemic.
By getting the first PPP loan, it allowed us to move forward without as much concern or stress that we are going to be able to make ends meet, and allowed us to grow and continue to thrive in a positive way.
If you are a small business with under 20 employees, you can apply for the loan through March 10th. And coming up at 6, I'll introduce you to another local small business owner who says she's not planning on taking advantage of this. I'll tell you why coming up. Mimi?
We'll look forward to that. Thanks, Ari. The FDA confirms the single-shot COVID-19 vaccine developed by Johnson & Johnson is safe. U.S. regulators say the vaccine met the requirements for emergency use authorization. The agency says overall the vaccine is about 66% effective at preventing moderate to severe COVID-19. The endorsement is promising, but it is not the same as an FDA approval. Friday, an independent group of FDA advisors will hold a meeting to make a recommendation about whether the shot should receive emergency use authorization. Another twist in the ongoing political saga of former House Speaker Michael Madigan. His hand-picked replacement has resigned just 3 days after being appointed. Eyewitness News is keeping you connected to the state capitol. Edward Guerra Kodat submitted his letter of resignation this morning. It came just hours after Madigan reversed course and called on him to step down. Madigan's office says it made the decision after learning of, quote, alleged questionable conduct by Kodat. Officials did not detail exactly what that conduct was. Despite his resignation, Kodat can still claim a month's salary after only being on the job for 2 days. Illinois law allows state legislators to be paid by the month. Records show Kodat hasn't been paid this month. That means he is entitled to nearly $6,000. State Comptroller Susana Mendoza asked Kodat to decline the salary in the spirit of good governance.
I don't think it's a fair thing for taxpayers. Unfortunately, the law requires me to pay them a full month's salary, which is over $5,000. And, at a time when we need to be looking at every dollar and protecting taxpayer dollars, I think it's a colossal waste of taxpayer money.
I'm a Southwest Side.
Madigan is set to appoint a replacement for the 22nd District House seat during a committee meeting tomorrow. After spending decades serving Winnebago County, a pillar of the community plans to retire. Paul Logley's been CEO of the United Way of Rock River Valley since 2008. He most recently oversaw the launch of Move the Middle, which helps keep middle school students on the path to success. Before that, Logley served as a circuit court judge and spent over 2 decades as Winnebago County State's Attorney. Logley's last day is June 30th. We'll hear more about his significant impact on the state line and his plans for the future coming up tonight at 6. A bipartisan call for change in Washington after a rough year for the United States Postal Service. When we come back, what some say needs to happen to save the way you get mail. Plus, it's taking a local museum longer than expected to recover after a burst pipe caused massive flooding. Coming up at 6, Burpee's new timeline for reopening and how you can help with the recovery.
Temperatures back once again in the 40s for us this afternoon. We're getting rid of some of the cloud cover, and that means tonight's temperature could be a lot colder than what we've had these last couple of nights. Find out just how long we can hang on to this warmth coming up in your most trusted forecast a little later.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team with Eric Wilson, Mimi Murphy, Sports Director Scott Leber, and Chief Meteorologist Candice King.
Over the last year, the U.S. Postal Service has been experiencing delivery delays. Earlier this month, we shared how some Rockford Water customers received their bills late. The USPS is also facing a financial cliff after years of declining revenues. Our Washington correspondent Alexandra Limon reports on efforts in Congress to save the nation's postal system as she keeps you connected to the nation's capital.
The U.S. Postal Service is facing financial disaster. Congressman Jerry Connolly says a big part of the problem is the post office is required to pre-fund retiree benefits 75 years in advance.
The money sits in a Treasury account waiting to fund the health benefits of those not yet born even, when it could be used to fortify a struggling postal service.
Representative Carolyn Maloney says the solution should include Medicare integration.
The draft bill would require current employees to enroll in Medicare when they reach 65. Retirees who are already over 65 would be given a 3-month period to enroll with no penalty.
But Kentucky Republican Congressman James Comer says the post office promised greater benefits to employees, and the underlying problem is with the business model.
Demand for first-class mail has plunged, and costs have stayed the same. No business could be expected to survive.
The chairman of the Post Office Board of Governors told lawmakers there is a plan in the works to deal with the financial problems as well as current service delays.
A comprehensive plan to invest in and revitalize the Postal Service. This plan is still being finalized, so I am not in a position to reveal any specifics.
Democrats and Republicans agree saving the post office, which is required to deliver mail to every U.S. address, is vital. Reporting in Washington, Alexandra Limon.
The Postal Service reveals what its next generation of mail trucks will look like. This is the winner of a years-long competition. They'll be built by Wisconsin-based Oshkosh Defense. It's the first part of a multi-billion-dollar 10-year effort to replace the aging vehicle fleet. The trucks can run on both gas and electric drivetrains. They're also designed to have more cargo space and technology to prevent accidents. The new trucks won't hit the road until 2023.
Now, your first warned weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candice King.
Well, beautiful sunset set in store for us this evening. A live look with our Merced Sky Track camera out over the Rock River here in downtown Rockford. We're able to see the sunshine after we dealt with a little bit of cloud cover out there earlier this evening and earlier this afternoon after waking up to plenty of sunshine. But those clouds now sinking down to the south and will continue to do so as we go through this evening. That means a mostly clear sky. But watching another system off to the northwest over the northern plains. This will kind of slide to our north later tonight and early tomorrow, so that could bring back some of that cloud cover as we head towards morning. 42 in Rockford, 35 in Belvedere, 37 in Rochelle, 38 right now in Freeport, 35 for Ben, our weather watcher in South Beloit, and Bob this evening checking in with 40 degrees here on the southeast end of Rockford. We've had this mild weather compared to where we were, right? The last couple of weeks, temperatures just a handful of degrees above average for this time of year, but it has felt absolutely wonderful. And that snow melt continues. If we look at our snow cover just within the last week, so this was last week on the 17th, and how over 70% of the country covered in snow. Look at the difference from 1 week as temperatures climbed into the 70s and 80s down to the south after they were in a very hard and deep freeze. We continue to dwindle away at the current snow we have on the ground. It is going to take a while, but it's a slow melting process that has been taking shape. Let's look at our temperature so far for the month of February, because it's been a rather cold month. In fact, our average monthly temperature only at 11.8 degrees. This is 13.4 degrees below average. Now, you might be saying, all right, Candice, I thought that this winter was going to be relatively above average. And when we look at the winter as a whole, going back to January and December, it will be. In fact, January and December temperatures roughly about 5 to 6 degrees above average. We'll continue that warming trend, however, as we round out the end of February and begin the month of March, also beginning meteorological spring. So here we go with futurecast. As our skies clear out, our winds are going to turn light tonight, so that could lead to some fog tomorrow morning. We look to the northwest. Here's that weak little system currently over the plains. This will slide through mid mid-morning, so that could bring us a few more clouds as we head into the afternoon. That does clear down to the south. We clear out Thursday night. Could see some fog develop again Thursday going into Friday. Winds will shift around to the southwest, a mix of sun and clouds for Friday afternoon, and that temperature climbing back into the upper 30s. So down around 20 degrees for us tonight. Gradual clearing here, or continued clearing, I should say, as we go through this evening. Again, some patchy fog will be possible. Temperature tomorrow makes it up near 37 for the afternoon. It is going to be breezy at times with that westerly wind. Next 7 days, this is what it looks like. Next couple of nights will be colder tonight and tomorrow night as that temperature gets down to 16, 39 on Friday. We've got 40s lining up here for the weekend. A little dip in the number on Monday, but we could see the 40s return as we welcome in March.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Leber.
It's been a long time coming, but Bulls fans finally have some reason for optimism. Don't get me wrong, the Bulls are a long way from being a championship contender, but you can see some positives forming. For starters, Zach Levine has taken his game to another level. He's gone from being a guy who can score points on a bad team to a guy who's showing some leadership and maturity. He's clearly one of the top 15 or so players in the league now. And future free agents might actually want to come play with Levine in Chicago. Another positive is the improved play of Wendell Carter Jr. He's gone from doing almost nothing the last 2 years to now averaging 13 points and almost 8 rebounds a game. Rookie Patrick Williams also looks like he's going to be a solid NBA player, and Kobe White has shown he can be a scorer. Now the Bulls just have to get this man, Lauri Markkanen, healthy and elevating his game. But the best part about the Bulls is they have a legit NBA head coach now in Billy Donovan. There's also some hope for the Blackhawks and the Ice Hogs. It's in the nets. The biggest question mark for both teams coming into this season was the goaltender spot. Kevin Lankinen has more than answered that for the Blackhawks. He's been one of the best goaltenders in the league, and at age 25, you would think he is only going to get better. This should be his job for the next 8 years or so. And for the Ice Hogs, rookie Cam Morris got his first win as a pro last night in his first professional start. He was a rock at Notre Dame the last 4 years. He's Notre Dame's all-time leader in career save percentage. Last night he had 35 saves and allowed only 2 goals. It's only one start, but we'll take it. I can't wait to see a lot more of Cam Morris.
First Warning Interactive Radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. Clear skies for us this evening, but we'll see a little bit of cloud cover kind of work back in late tonight and during the first half of the day tomorrow. With that clear sky, though, that means our temperatures are going to fall back a lot cooler than where we've been these last couple of nights, down on either side of 20 degrees. So just anticipate a colder start tomorrow and could wake up to some fog, too. We'll see some cloud cover as we head throughout the day on Thursday, 37 for the afternoon, back into the upper 30s on Friday. Going to be a rain-snow mix Friday night, but we clear out 40s return for the weekend.
Sounds great. Thanks, Candice. And thanks for watching. We'll see you again at 6.